we actually have the product this time. Let's go. Hey guys, how's it going? Textbooks here. Hope you're all doing well. About a month ago, I made a video on the Google Pixel 4a, in which I essentially talked about the phone itself, what features it had, and whether or not I thought that you should buy it. However, about a week later, I got a reply by the Google UK verified Twitter account on a tweet that I had made previously. Their reply was something along the lines of, "Hey there, we like your style. And we got a surprise for you. DM us back to say hi and to find out more." And with that, I instantly DM'd them back, and a couple days later they sent me a form to fill out so that they could send me the said surprise. I of course filled all of it out, whilst having completely no idea what this surprise could even be, sent it off, and then waited until the date that they said it would arrive, which was the 3rd of September. And although them 2 weeks seemed to stretch out for a long time, the day eventually came, and it turns out that Google had sent me the special reviewer package for the Pixel 4a. The one that not only has the phone itself, but also some cool extras like some food and a drink, as well as a cardboard stand. My reaction was pretty shocked, to be honest, because I was not expecting it to be a full-on reviewer style box, which I've seen all of the big tech YouTubers like Mr. Who's the Boss or Zone of Tech all unboxing. So definitely a massive shout out to Google UK for sending this over to me, and of course allowing this video to be possible. However, I do also want to say that this video is not sponsored by Google in any way at all, and I have not been paid by them or anything, so all of the opinions that I have about this phone are my own and are based off of my own usage and experiences. Because yes, I have been using the Google Pixel 4a as my daily driver since I got it about a week ago now, and my overall take is that it's actually a pretty good phone. Everything about it, from the minty green accent on the power button to the shape of the speaker grills on the bottom, just make it really aesthetically pleasing, even though it isn't supposed to be a high-end device. I am all for this minimal style in a smartphone, and the Pixel 4a takes it to another level, which is just really clean. The whole phone is made from a plastic unibody, which may sound like it compromises on things like durability and overall strength, but the phone is very solid and doesn't creak like some other things made of plastic do. It also feels great in the hand as well. The plastic doesn't feel cheap with its soft, matte black, smudge resistant finish, and the 5.8 inch size makes it feel very compact. Everything on the display is reachable with just my thumb, making it great for people who have small hands. On the topic of the display, it's also pretty great too. The Pixel 4a has a 1080p OLED panel, and it has a 24-bit color depth, meaning that you get very deep blacks and very sharp, vibrant colors. And these things are great if you enjoy watching video content on YouTube or Netflix, or even if you just enjoy looking at lots of photos. Like most other Pixel phones, there's also an always on display mode, which you can toggle in settings, and I found it to be something very useful for quickly glancing at stuff like the time, the weather, notifications, and even what song is playing around me, all without having to actually pick up the phone and unlock it and use it. And when you do need to unlock the Pixel 4a, you have a fingerprint reader on the back, which is in a natural feeling place that works very well. To be honest, it's something that I'm going to miss when I switch back to using an iPhone, as I never realized it would be so good until I had used one for myself. However, there has also been one thing about the display which I found to be a bit of an annoyance, which is responsiveness. Things like scrolling can sometimes feel sluggish, and I'm not entirely sure what it could be. It doesn't occur all the time, and I couldn't capture it for the camera, but the few odd instances when it has occurred on me feel kind of annoying. The Pixel 4a has a 60Hz refresh rate, but the iPhone X that I'm used to also has the same 60Hz refresh rate too, so I don't think that it's that, but I think it's probably a software issue that can be patched later on in a software update, or it's just the processor being a bit slow. The Snapdragon 730G chip, which is inside the Pixel 4a, is not a powerhouse to say the least, but it also isn't the worst thing that I've ever used. Things like loading websites in Chrome, playing some types of 3D game, and taking photos can feel slightly slower than what I'm used to, but at the end of the day we have to remember that this phone costs £349, and the 6GB of RAM which it has should be okay for the main things that I and most other people do on a smartphone, which is browsing social media, watching YouTube, and sending messages. All of that stuff works completely fine, and it's just anything sophisticated which may cause a hit in performance, but it's definitely not to the extent where you cannot use them things at all. Battery life is also fine. There's a 3140 mAh battery inside of the Pixel 4a, and I can definitely get through the day with this. It is one of them phones that you do need to charge every day or so, but we have to remember that I probably use my smartphone a lot more than most people should do, so it may vary for you. What's handy though is that in the quick control menu you can see a rough estimate for how much longer your battery is going to last you, and this has been great for me because it means I can judge whether or not I need to quickly charge before going somewhere. And when you do need to charge the Pixel 4a, it charges incredibly fast via USB-C with the 18-watt charging brick that's included in the box. It's so fast that I can usually just leave it on charge for about 15 minutes every morning before leaving my house, and it will give me enough battery to last well into the evening, and probably even into the next day too. Now, everything else aside, I know what you're all here for. The camera. As a tech enthusiast, I have of course heard that Pixel devices are among the best for taking photos, and that is certainly true now that I have used one for myself. Despite the uninspiring 12.2 megapixel lens on the rear, it is one of the best cameras which I have ever used, and it can even rival photos that I've taken before on flagship devices like the iPhone 11 Pro Max. Colours are vivid, focus is sharp, and detail is retained even when you zoom in. Not a single photo I've taken has come out in bad quality, and it goes to show the effort that Google puts into their post-processing AI. Portrait mode can make some equally amazing photos with good edge detection and blurring, and night sight can open up so many possibilities for capturing photos in the dark. I haven't really gone outside to capture any of them starry photos that you see in the Pixel ads, because here in England it's just cloudy all the time, but from the photos which I've taken inside in the evening in pitch black conditions, it can really make darkness shine. As you can see from the photos of the Will Smith figure and some plants on the shelf, night sight in pitch black makes it comparable with the image I took afterwards with spotlights on, so I can imagine that if you tried it outside, you can definitely get some good results. And likewise, the 8 megapixel front-facing hole punch selfie camera is also great, again relying on that post-image processing for the sharp results. However, one thing I will say about it is that it tends to automatically smoothen my skin for some reason, even though there's not really a beauty mode as such. It doesn't bother me too much, but I'd rather my camera is honest with me instead of making it look like I'm taking photos with Snapchat filters on all the time. Both cameras are additionally good at shooting videos as well. From the few short videos which I've taken when going for a walk, they're pretty smooth thanks to OIS, and the rear camera can film in 4K 30fps, so for shooting videos, it should be a winner too. Okay, now this is a test of the Pixel 4a's front-facing selfie camera and the built-in microphones as well. As you can see, I'm going for a walk. In the camera department, the Pixel 4a definitely lives up to the Pixel name, and I think the camera alone makes this thing worth buying. And that of course brings me to the question, is the Pixel 4a worth buying? I kind of talked about this in my other video and came to the conclusion that there are two other main competitors that this phone has, the iPhone SE and the OnePlus Nord. And if you like iPhones, go for the SE, and if you don't mind Android, go for the Pixel. But having used it for myself now, I honestly think that the Pixel is the best value for money out of the trio, considering what you get. The iPhone SE, whilst it has all of the perks of iOS and has the flagship A13 processor, the overall design is quite old and the small battery won't age well when people are still using it in 4 or 5 years time. The OnePlus Nord is also an okay device. The screen is the smoothest one at 90Hz, and the design is certainly more flagship-like, and is reminiscent of the OnePlus 8. But from what my friend who has one has told me, the cameras are pretty mediocre even though it has 6 of them. And that's why I say the Pixel 4a is the best of the 3 of them. It has a clean design, that's modern, it has a vibrant screen, it has an amazing camera, plus it also gets the special treatment with Android software updates because it's a Pixel. The only caveat I would say is the processor, which isn't the fastest, but like I said, for most people it should be fine for social media, like gaming and watching videos. It gets by and it should be totally fine. And that's my review of the Google Pixel 4a. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, be sure to subscribe as we're nearly at 250 subscribers and probably are already there by the time you see this. This is Textbooks here, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace. I bet you thought I forgot about the drink and the 2 snacks you might have seen that came in the box. I didn't. Well, I'm gonna eat them on camera so you guys can see what they taste like and my reaction to them, so let's go. So, let's start with a mini mouthful, which is this box right here. The mini mouthful. So it is, I think it's some kind of biscuit. Something. They look like mini nacho things. They actually smell really good. Okay. They're actually pretty good. The mini mouthful is indeed a mini mouthful that is very nice. Okay, let me put that to the side. Okay, now we have the bittersweet treat. It looks like an orange. Okay. That's also pretty good. Really, no, that's actually quite nice. It's like sweets, but they're like orange. They're orange kind of sweets. They're actually kind of nice. And yeah, it's bittersweet, so it is kind of nice. I like that. But to wash it all down, we have the no grony aperitif. There we go. No grotini. No, the no grony aperitif. Let's try it. It's a bespoke, non-alcoholic celebratory mocktail with summer botanicals, blood orange, grapefruit, ginger, and black pepper served best over ice. Well, I don't have any ice, and also it's not hot enough for ice, so I'm just going to pour it into a glass. There we go. And I spilled some on the desk, which is not very good. Cheers. Well, that is bitter. That is very strong. It's not alcoholic, by the way. It's very sharp. I don't really like it, to be honest. But I do like the food. The mini mouthful is very nice. It's spicy, but not spicy. It's got enough of a kick, unlike the drink, which is very, and it's like very tangy, and I don't really like it. But the bittersweet treat is very nice. The mini mouthful is very nice. And yeah, it was very nice that Google actually included all this, because not all tech companies, they have food in the box. I mean, Apple, they don't even want to give you a charger anymore, which, you know, this time I'm actually going, so peace.